All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Shemal, and Shabbat, Shalom, Kakodash. Double unto the apostle of this great millstone. Shalom, to all that about the pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, I want to do this lesson on the Cape of Storms or the Cape of Good Hope, in correlation to the scriptures. It's pretty spiritual, of course. You got this area, Cape Town, which is in South Africa. And apostles went through this, for years in regards to the Northern Kingdom and the route they went to get to the Americas. You got Esau's science, which is falsely science, so called as it is written, where they'll say that they went through the Bering Straits, so they went laterally eastward through the Bering Strait area, and then they pretty much, through Darwin's theory, he says that they were Mongoloids. So he's saying that they actually went through the Berings, came to the Americas, and spread throughout, North Central and South Africa, Alaska, which that's not the case. They actually went from the Middle East to flee persecution under the Assyrian captivity. You have Shalmaneser, which I get it in Esdras, and they took this route around South Africa, the Cape, and they spread all throughout. So proof of that is this area in Cape Town where the storms are highest. These storms are very, very dramatic. It's a lot of destruction that takes place in that area, and that's even written within the scriptures, showing the words are faithful and true. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read a little bit on this, the Cape of Storms, Cape of Good Hope. So it says, an astronaut on board the International Space Station shot the photograph of southwestern coast of South Africa. The Cape of Good Hope is located on the southern tip of the Cape Peninsula, which is also home to Cape Town, the legislative capital of South Africa. The Cape was originally named the Cape of Storms in the 1480s by the Portuguese explorer Bartholomew de Assis. It was later renamed to Good Hope to attract more people to the Cape Sea route that passed the southern coast of Africa. The Cape eventually became a significant port and waypoint for sailors traveling from Europe to Asia. However, the opening of the Suez Canal, 1896, provided a much shorter route from the Mediterranean Sea to the Indian Ocean, making the long trip around Africa inefficient. So the waters near the Cape where the Atlantic and Indian Oceans meet can be treacherous for ships. The warm Agulhas current from the east run into the cold Benguela current from the northwest. Dangerous waves from the currents have caused many shipwrecks. According to folklore, these shipwrecks led to the legend of the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, when I was a kid, I would watch fucking SpongeBob, just like a lot of kids did around that time. And they had this guy, the Flying Dutchman. I didn't even know there was an actual folklore. I just remember it as a kid. But it says, a ghost ship doomed to sail the oceans forever after being lost in a severe storm near the Cape. It's pretty interesting. Offshore, the transverse and longitudinal wind patterns on False Blair are caused by the strong winds blowing along the South African coast. The winds will blow in different directions depending on the time of year. During the summer, September, March, the winds will blow from the southeast, and winter they blow in the northeast. In winter, May to September, they blow from the northwest. The winter winds tend to bring a moisture, cold fronts. That's the main point. But the point I want to make is how this area, that Cape is known as the Cape of Storms. So a lot of destruction takes place within that area. And like I said, it was written already within the scriptures. So we know that this devil had remarketed and he rebranded a lot of pieces on the face of the earth for his personal liking, to pretty much rearrange the historic points whether it's bodies or water and things of that nature, and to get his power back on the earth. Let's see. Arsworth. Yep. So, the scriptures go into it. So it says, 2nd Ezra 13. And that's how we know, of course, which even when you go to the Americas, they said there's a lot of archaeology. There's so much archaeology over here, comparatively to even the Eastern world. But this is 2nd Ezra 13 and 34. It says, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion. And Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, which is the storms, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto me. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes, which was carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, which that's the Americas. All right, North, Central, and South America was the country that mankind didn't dwell. Now, you can look at a map and say, oh, well, that, which you really can't. But they went through that South Africa. Those Hamites took all that land. They took they enlarged themselves within the breadth of that land. So we know that land would be talking about America. Proof of that is when you watch the movie 1492 with Christopher Columbus, and he said that he read the book of Ezra. He said Ezra was a Jew. So I'm going to a little bit more. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go further into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land, and they enter into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. Verse 44, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through the country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsworth. Then dwelt they there unto the latter time, which is the last days, and now when they shall begin to come. The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace, the peaceful multitude, which represents Israel. Yes, so Israel had to take that route, and the Lord held back the storms, Verse 44, for the Most High then showed them signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over, which is the storms. That's why it's known as the Cape of Storms, to give them peace to land within those Americas. And then that's why you have in Los Lunos, New Mexico, you have certain parts throughout the Americas of the law, statutes, and commandments being written and established within those land masses. So I didn't want to make this too long. Just wanted to go into, drill home the point of the Cape, through the Spirit, and show more and more proof, how you can't work around this truth. You can't do nothing against the truth before it. No matter how much this devil tries to rearrange and play with history, he's just playing himself, So with that, I'm going to end by giving all praise and the glory to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem Rakakadash, the bonus to the apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom, Akim.